Welcome back to Real Lounge Entertainment. As always, I'm Mike, and it is officially October, guys. The real spooky season has officially started. And here at Real Lounge Entertainment, we're going to try to release at least one video and or short every single day all through October, maybe even more. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave some comments on our videos, and stick around to see what other kind of videos we're going to make this October. So the first video I'm doing for you guys today is I'm going to pick 5 family-friendly Halloween/horror movies that the whole family can watch during the holiday season. Now, I have 3 youngsters of my own, and there's definitely 5 movies we watch every single Halloween season. There's actually even more than that, but I'm just going to limit it down to 5. We can always make another video later if you want. So when trying to make this list, the first thing I want to do, which ones do me and my kids all like to watch every single holiday season? And then we also put in some quality in there, rewatchability, ones that, don't get too scary or are okay for older kids. You got to put all those things into mind when trying to come up with lists like this. So I think I got 5 that I would like to say for this year at least, and no particular order. And guess what? I know there's going to be a few that I don't list here that are probably yours, and that's okay. I guarantee I probably watched them too, but I just don't want to make a super long video for you guys. So if there's any movies that don't make this list that are your favorites, let us know in the comments what family-friendly Halloween movies that you loved did I leave off this list. So the first one coming at you is one of the heavy hitters, and that's a Disney movie, 1993, Hocus Pocus. I mean, honestly, who doesn't like this movie? This movie, when it first released, it didn't really box that much. Critics hated it. Most people didn't go see it. But then Disney Channel started airing it every single holiday season for Halloween. And it just grew and grew and grew. And we had it on VHS when I was a kid. We watched this all the time. This movie has aged very well. The acting is great, but you have these corny little characters everywhere, and it just works out wonderfully. You have the 3 Sanderson sisters who were witches, and they were caught by the townspeople for putting spells and taking all the children to keep them young. And they hung them by the tree, and then a spell on this black lit candle, hundreds of years later, brings them back to the small town. So this movie follows a brother and sister, Danny and Max, as they accidentally bring them back from the dead, along with the zombie Billy, who was one of the boyfriends of one of the Sanderson sisters. Billy is played by one of my favorite unsung heroes in Hollywood, Doug Jones. This man was great at any costume stuff. He's really skinny, and if there's any creature in any sort of movie, look it up. I bet it was played by Doug Jones. Anyway, this movie at no point really gets too scary for anybody. It really follows in the family-friendly aura, but it's still creepy at moments, especially when they hypnotize all the children to walk towards their cabin so they can drink their souls to keep themselves young. This movie looks like everyone had fun making it. It has great Halloween themes all through it. The sets, the schools, the streets, everything kind of takes you back to that 90s feel of what Halloween used to mean to us when we were children, if anyone in my age group was watching this list. The movie is rated PG, has a runtime of 1 hour and 36 minutes, so it really hits that nice family-friendly time frame of not too long and not too short. So I highly recommend Hocus Pocus, and that's why it's the first one to bring up on my list. The second one we're bringing it to you is another Disney movie, and that is Halloween Town. Yes, another 90s Halloween movie brought to you by Disney. This one was made for TV, and this one definitely for younger children. All my children have watched it the last couple years and have absolutely loved this movie. This one came out in 1998 and has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 83%, so pretty solid. Hocus Pocus, on the other hand, only had a 41%. What kind of world are we living in when Hocus Pocus only has a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes? That's another reason I don't take much stock in that at all. This one has a runtime of 1 hour and 24 minutes, so once again, hitting that nice sweet spot of about an hour and a half for a family-friendly movie. At no point in this movie does it get too scary, but there is a villain named Calabar, and he's a little creepy, but not too bad. Like, even the youngest kids should be able to handle this, but done very well, and acted very well for a Disney Channel original movie. This movie follows 3 human kids, Marnie, Dylan, and Sophie, as they go into Halloween Town following their grandma and find out they come from witches. The mom is played by Judith Hoag. Yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Judith Hoag. It is always good to see somebody from that movie in another movie, and this one she plays a very good mom. We also have the grandma, played by Princess Leia's mom herself, Debbie Reynolds. May she rest in peace. So in this movie, Caliber, the masked bad guy, is trying to take over Halloween Town so they can take over the human town since they got the raw end of the deal and they want their power back. They want to be important again. So they have to team up as a family to defeat him. Very solid movie, fast paced, funny at moments when it has to be, and pretty good quality for a Disney Channel original movie. So at number two, I highly recommend Halloween Town. Coming at number three is one of the movies I feel lots of people slept on when it came out, and that's Paranorman from 2012. This movie does get a little creepy at moments, so maybe not for like the very, very young, but I still highly recommend it. I mean, there was even times when I watched it more near the end when the music's building and the girl voice comes in that it gave me goosebumps. So, a little warning, if you have like a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, might be a little extreme for them at certain moments, but still it's a very family-friendly horror movie. This one has an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, a runtime of 1 hour and 45 minutes, so it's a little bit longer, but still not too bad. It's rated PG, and it had a budget of $60 million and only a return of $107 million, which it definitely deserved better. I feel like it probably has a cult following at this point. If it doesn't, it should, because even adults can watch this movie without children and still get enjoyment. I know I do. It's one of those stop motion pictures that takes a lot of heart and soul if you're actually going to be willing to make these movies. And it just looks wonderful. You have lots of creepy things happening in this movie, lots of little nods towards like the horror things, like the Halloween theme and the Jason hockey mask in it. So always look at the background, and you can always usually pick out one or two things. This one takes place in Salem, as we follow a kid named Norman, who can talk and see the dead. Now, he uses this to see all the dead people that once were around town, and everyone thinks he's kind of creepy and a little crazy. But his uncle is like that too, and he gives him a book when he passes away and says, "You have to read this at the certain point," and we find out it's to keep the girl asleep. So this movie is all about we don't want to raise the witch back from the dead. So he has to read the book or else she comes back from the dead. So at the beginning, guess what? He doesn't do it right, and all of a sudden zombies come out chasing after him. So him and his friends have to run away from zombies. They're pretty creepy. They don't talk. So once again, maybe little children, maybe not for them, but overall as a good family pick, it's okay. So after the zombies chase them, without spoiling too much in the movie, we have a witch who turns out to be a little girl. And we see some past scenes of her being like persecuted for, just like being a little girl at the wrong time. And so the themes can be a little rough, and some of the kids might not understand it. And even as an adult, you're kind of like, it gives you something to think about. So I highly recommend Paranorman if you haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, definitely watch it again. It's definitely a classic around Halloween time. All right, the fourth movie we're going to talk about is another Disney Channel original movie. I know. You've, 3 out of 5 on this list. I know, but guess what? In the 90s, because yes, it's another 90s Halloween movie, they just knocked out of the park. Disney used to be great, you guys. And I wish we'd go back to those days, but those days are long behind us. So this one is the 1997 movie Under Wraps. Yes, the 1997 version, not the 2021 version. This movie is great. My kids have loved this movie. We watched it 2 nights ago, and they've just been quoting it ever since. They've seen it before, but they always kind of forget about this movie, and then when they watch it, everything just comes back to them. This movie has a runtime of 1 hour, 35 minutes, so hitting that sweet spot, and it's actually only rated G, which it probably should at least be PG because there are some pretty scary moments. Now, this movie is family friendly, but there's one scene at the very beginning when it's a movie within a movie, and it's downright frightening. It looks like it could be a legit horror movie as they're watching a movie called Warthead or something, and it's a very extreme scene at the beginning. And there's also certain things said by some of the characters that aren't so PG in today's world, but I don't mind. I grew up in a time when it was fine to say it, but just a fair warning on those type of things. I think there's probably a reason that this movie isn't on Disney Plus and they rebooted it, because I feel like Disney kind of wants to stay away from this movie. It's very rare to find, so if you find a DVD copy, it's like $50, $60, $100 for it. So it's definitely a movie that I think they want to forget about. This movie follows 3 friends, Amy, Marshall, and Gilbert, as they spy on their next door neighbor, see that there's a dead body or coffin inside the basement, sneak in, and next thing you know, they've awoken a mummy by accident. Now, at first they're scared of it, but then they quickly realize he's just kind of like a good mummy and it doesn't mean them any harm. So we have a whole adventure of, so they figure out that they have to get him back in his like sarcophagus or whatever before midnight by a certain day, or he kind of just disappears and doesn't exist anymore. But the but the coffin was taken away by the movers and it's not there anymore, so they have to find it. So they kind of have a 1 or 2 day adventure with him, and there's some pretty funny moments in this movie, I gotta tell you. The acting is solid enough. It definitely feels 90s, which is great for people like me. And it's just a fun little movie. Like I said, there's a couple moments that's a little in today's world, but overall, if you don't mind that type of stuff, I definitely recommend checking out Under Wraps. It's very underrated. Most people don't talk about it anymore, probably because it's kind of been buried a little bit. But if you can find it, definitely give it a watch. And the last one I want to talk about probably means the most to me personally, and that's the 1991 film Ernest Scared Stupid. Now, here it is. There's those who know Ernest and those who don't. I'm a firm believer that everybody should know Ernest because Ernest is amazing. So those of you who know this movie, I guarantee you love it. Those of you who have not seen it, I guarantee you should see this movie. Yes, it's another one of those movies that does have some scary moments for kids. There's a couple scenes in particular, but I grew up on it and I was kind of a scaredy cat and I survived, so I think it's fine for I think it's very family friendly, minus 1 or 2 scenes. This movie had a runtime of 1 hour and 32 minutes and only a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is very unfair. All of you critics back then, shame on you. With a budget of $9.6 million, it only managed to make about $14 million at the box office. So because of this, we didn't ever really get another Ernest movie in theaters. So that's the sad fact about this. But this movie, as it is, follows Ernest, played by Jim Varney, and maybe arguably his best movie. Everything got right. The humor was great, the side characters were great, the costumes of the trolls in this movie were great. Because this follows Ernest, who kind of has a family curse on him because his family vanquished Trancher the Troll in the past. So now every generation gets dumber and dumber. And now we're at the generation that has Ernest. He accidentally awakens the trolls by knocking down the tree 3 times and says the certain words, and it has to be him on the night before Halloween. Well, he does that, and out comes Trancher the Troll. He has to collect the souls of 5 children and turn them into little wooden dolls to bring all the other trolls back, which he does. We get some really cool effects. Yes, they're just masks that don't really move too much, but as a kid, these things looked amazing. Scary, yes, but awesome. This movie also gave me one of my favorite intros to any movie whatsoever. The first 3 minutes of this movie is like this creepy Halloween type of music that was original and still sounds great, and we got cutscenes from all these black and white horror movies that I always just wanted to find out what they were and watch through all of them. Maybe one day I'll do that for a video on this channel. I'll watch all those old, I think they're probably public domain movies, and just see how bad they really are. But as a kid, I was just like, wow, this is freaking awesome. My mind was blown. This movie probably gives me some of my happiest memories as a child. I have to watch it every single year, and luckily, my children have now grown up with Ernest because of me, and they love this movie just as much as I do. And just a little side note extra for this movie. My favorite scene in it is when Ernest is like, just talk to my 4th grade teacher. And it goes to a teacher sitting there looking very sad and depressed. A young Ernest in the background, right on the chalkboard. She says, he never knew when to quit. And he just raised his hand, scratched on the chalkboard, and she just did this and slapped his head. And he's like, ugh. Great scene. Love that movie. Definitely recommend it for holiday season. All right, that'll do it for this video, guys. Thanks for sitting back and watching 5 family-friendly Halloween movies to watch this season. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell some of your friends about us. Maybe they'll like us. And remember, we're going to try to release at least one video and or short every single day this October to celebrate the spooky season. So, thanks for watching.
Just ask my 4th grade teacher.
He never knew when to quit. Oh.